Welcome to this in-depth exploration of how Stoicism can help us overcome one of the most pervasive mental challenges of modern life: overthinking. In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, it's easy to get caught in a whirlwind of thoughts, replaying past mistakes, worrying about future uncertainties, or obsessing over things we can't control. This mental clutter not only drains our energy, but also prevents us from living fully in the present moment. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy founded in Athens by Zeno of Citium, and later developed by thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, offers timeless wisdom for cultivating mental clarity, emotional resilience, and inner peace. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, accept what we cannot, and live in harmony with nature and reason. In this video, we'll explore how Stoic principles can help us break free from the cycle of overthinking. We'll delve into practical strategies, real-life examples, and actionable steps to help you apply these teachings in your daily life. By the end of this video, you'll have a deeper understanding of how to use Stoicism to quiet your mind, focus your energy, and live a more intentional and fulfilling life. Let's begin by understanding what overthinking is, why it happens, and how Stoicism provides a framework to address it. Section 1. Understanding overthinking. Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, replaying a conversation from earlier in the day, dissecting every word, every tone, every nuance, wondering if you said the right thing? Or perhaps you're gripped by a relentless stream of what-ifs about the future, imagining every possible negative outcome, each one more catastrophic than the last. If so, you're far from alone. Overthinking is a pervasive struggle, a mental labyrinth that traps us in cycles of anxiety, indecision, and self-doubt. It's not just a fleeting worry. It's a persistent, often unproductive pattern of thought that fixates on negative past experiences or anxieties about the future. It's a relentless mental loop that robs us of our peace and our ability to enjoy the present moment. Overthinking is a mental habit characterized by excessive analysis, rumination, and worry. It often involves dwelling on negative thoughts, replaying past events, or obsessing over future uncertainties. While it's natural to reflect on our experiences and plan for the future, overthinking becomes problematic when it consumes our mental energy, distracts us from the present moment, and prevents us from taking action. The modern world, with its constant barrage of information and relentless demands, serves only to exacerbate this tendency. We are bombarded with stimuli. Social media feeds filled with curated perfection, 24/7 news cycles that emphasize the negative, and the pervasive societal pressure to achieve, to succeed, to be constantly productive. This constant exposure to external pressures and comparisons fuels our overthinking, creating a perfect storm of anxiety and self-doubt. The consequences of overthinking are profound and far-reaching. It leads to chronic stress, debilitating anxiety, insomnia that leaves us exhausted and unable to function, decision paralysis that prevents us from taking action, and ultimately, a significantly diminished quality of life. We become trapped in our own minds, unable to break free from the relentless cycle of worry. But there's a way out, a path to mental clarity and peace. Today, we'll explore the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, a practical and powerful approach that offers us the tools and techniques to combat overthinking and reclaim our mental well-being. Stoicism isn't about suppressing our emotions or pretending that everything is fine. It's about understanding the nature of our thoughts, recognizing the difference between what we can control and what we can't, and developing the resilience to navigate life's challenges with composure and wisdom. Why we overthink. Overthinking often stems from a desire for control. We believe that if we think about something enough, we can predict outcomes, avoid mistakes, or solve problems. However, this approach backfires because it keeps us stuck in our heads, disconnected from the present moment, and unable to take meaningful action. Stoicism teaches us that overthinking is a misuse of our mental energy. Instead of focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we waste time and energy on things beyond our control, such as other people's opinions, past events, or future uncertainties. By understanding the Stoic principles of control, mindfulness, and acceptance, we can break free from the cycle of overthinking and live with greater clarity and purpose. Section 2. Understanding the Stoic view of thought. To truly understand how Stoicism can help us overcome overthinking, we must first delve into the Stoic view of thought itself. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the profound understanding that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but rather our judgments about those events. Epictetus, the renowned Stoic philosopher, famously stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple yet powerful statement encapsulates the essence of Stoic thought. We must learn to distinguish between what is within our control and what is outside our control. What is within our control, our thoughts, our judgments, our actions, our attitudes. What is outside our control? External events, other people's opinions, the weather, the past, the future. Let's take a concrete example. Imagine you receive critical feedback at work. You can't control the feedback itself. It has already been delivered, but you can control how you interpret it. Do you choose to see it as a personal attack, a reflection of your worth as a person? Or do you see it as an opportunity for growth, a chance to learn and improve? The Stoics recognized the power of impressions, or fantasia, the mental images and thoughts that arise in our minds. These impressions are often the triggers for our overthinking. A fleeting thought, a passing comment, a perceived slight, all can set off a cascade of negative thoughts. But the Stoics also understood that we have the power to examine these impressions, to question their validity, and to choose whether to accept them. A thought like, "I'm not good enough," is simply an impression, a mental image. It's not necessarily true. You have the power to challenge it, to ask yourself, is there evidence to support this thought? Or is it just a feeling, an assumption? The Stoics emphasized the importance of reason, or logos, as the guiding force in our lives. Reason allows us to discern truth from falsehood, to separate fact from opinion, to choose virtuous actions over impulsive reactions. When we find ourselves caught in the grip of overthinking, we must pause, take a deep breath, and engage our reason. We must ask ourselves, is this thought based on objective facts, or is it based on assumptions and fears? Is this thought within my control, or am I trying to control something that is beyond my reach? Is this thought serving me, or is it simply causing me unnecessary suffering? By applying reason to our thoughts, we can break free from the chains of overthinking and regain control of our mental well-being. Section 3. The Dichotomy of Control and Overthinking. Now, let's delve deeper into the dichotomy of control, the cornerstone of Stoic practice. This principle teaches us to categorize everything in our lives into two distinct categories: things we can control and things we cannot control. Overthinking often stems from our misguided attempts to control things that are inherently uncontrollable. We waste precious mental energy worrying about what others think of us, fretting over the past, or agonizing over the uncertainties of the future. These are all examples of things that are outside our sphere of influence. We cannot change other people's opinions, we cannot alter the past, and we cannot predict the future with absolute certainty. But we can control our own actions, our own thoughts, our own judgments. We can control how we respond to the events that unfold around us. Let's take another example. Imagine you have an important job interview coming up. You might find yourself overthinking about the outcome, worrying about whether you'll get the job, whether you'll impress the interviewer. But the outcome of the interview is ultimately beyond your control. You cannot guarantee that you will be offered the position. However, you can control your preparation. You can control how thoroughly you research the company, how diligently you practice your answers, how confidently you present yourself during the interview. By focusing on what you can control, you reduce your anxiety and increase your chances of success. Acceptance of the uncontrollable is not resignation. It's a recognition of reality. It's about acknowledging our limitations and focusing our energy on what truly matters. It's about understanding that some things are simply beyond our reach, and that's okay. To help you apply the dichotomy of control in your daily life, I recommend creating a 2-column list. On one side, write down things I can control, and on the other side, things I cannot control. Whenever you find yourself caught in the grip of overthinking, refer to this list. Ask yourself, which category does this thought belong to? If it belongs to the things I cannot control category, gently release it. Let it go. Redirect your focus to the things I can control category and take action. By consistently applying this principle, you can significantly reduce your overthinking and cultivate a greater sense of peace and clarity. Section 4. Negative visualization and emotional resilience. One of the most powerful and often misunderstood Stoic practices is negative visualization, also known as premeditatio malorum. This technique involves deliberately imagining potential setbacks, challenges, and worst-case scenarios. It might seem counterintuitive, even morbid, to dwell on negative possibilities. But the Stoics understood that by mentally preparing for adversity, we can desensitize ourselves to fear and anxiety, reducing our tendency to overthink about worst-case scenarios. Let's say you're anxious about giving a presentation at work. You might find yourself overthinking about all the things that could go wrong, forgetting your lines, technical difficulties, a critical audience. Instead of trying to suppress these fears, the Stoics would encourage you to confront them head-on. Take a few minutes to vividly imagine each of these scenarios. Visualize yourself forgetting your lines, experiencing technical difficulties, facing a critical audience. What would you do? How would you respond? By mentally rehearsing these scenarios, you'll feel more prepared and less anxious when the actual presentation comes around. You'll have already considered how to handle potential problems, reducing the likelihood of being thrown off balance. Negative visualization also serves to cultivate gratitude for what we have. By imagining losing something, we appreciate it more. We realize how fragile and precious our possessions, our relationships, our health truly are. This practice builds emotional resilience, making us better equipped to handle adversity when it inevitably arises. It teaches us to be adaptable, to be resourceful, to find strength in the face of challenges. To practice negative visualization, take a few minutes each day to imagine potential challenges. Don't dwell on them, but simply acknowledge them and consider how you would respond. What actions would you take? What resources would you need? How would you maintain your composure? By mentally preparing for adversity, you can cultivate a greater sense of calm and confidence in your daily life. Section 5. Journaling and self-reflection. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius recognized the profound value of journaling as a tool for self-reflection and emotional management. They understood that writing down our thoughts and feelings can help us gain clarity, identify patterns, and challenge negative thought loops. When we're caught in the grip of overthinking, our thoughts can become chaotic and overwhelming. Journaling provides a way to externalize these thoughts, to examine them from a more objective perspective. Let's say you're overthinking about a Past mistake, replaying the event in your mind, criticizing yourself for what you did or didn't do. Instead of letting these thoughts swirl endlessly, take out a journal and write down the details of the event. Describe what happened, how you felt, what you were thinking at the time. By putting these thoughts into words, you create a space between yourself and your emotions. You begin to see the event as something separate from yourself, something that happened in the past, something that you can learn from. Journaling also helps us identify patterns in our thinking. We may discover that we tend to overthink about certain types of situations, or that we have recurring negative thoughts that undermine our confidence. Once we become aware of these patterns, we can begin to challenge them. We can ask ourselves, is this thought based on reality, or is it based on assumptions and fears? Is this thought serving me, or is it simply causing me unnecessary suffering? Journaling can also help us question our assumptions and challenge irrational beliefs. We often hold on to beliefs that are based on faulty logic or limited information. By writing down these beliefs and examining them closely, we can begin to see their flaws and replace them with more accurate and helpful perspectives. To make the most of journaling, I recommend using specific prompts. Here are a few examples. What am I overthinking about? What are the specific details of this situation? What emotions am I experiencing? Is this within my control? What evidence supports or contradicts this thought? What would a wise person do in this situation? What can I learn from this experience? Regular journaling is not just about venting or expressing your frustrations. It's about cultivating self-awareness, developing critical thinking skills, and fostering emotional resilience. By consistently reflecting on your experiences, you can gain valuable insights into your own mind and learn to navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom and composure. Remember to review past journal entries, to identify recurring patterns, track your progress, and reinforce positive changes. Section 6. Mindfulness and present moment awareness. Stoicism and mindfulness, though distinct philosophies, share a fundamental understanding of the importance of being present and focused on the present moment. Both recognize that overthinking often stems from our tendency to dwell on the past or worry about the future, neglecting the here and now. Mindfulness, in its essence, is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about observing your thoughts, feelings and sensations as they arise without getting caught up in them. When we're caught in the grip of overthinking, our minds become like runaway trains, racing from one thought to another, creating a sense of chaos and overwhelm. Mindfulness helps us slow down this train, to bring our attention back to the present moment, to anchor ourselves in the reality of what is happening right now. Let's say you're sitting at your desk trying to work, but your mind is racing with thoughts about an upcoming deadline, a difficult conversation you had earlier in the day, or a worry about your finances. Instead of letting these thoughts pull you away from your work, try practicing mindful breathing. Simply focus your attention on the sensation of your breath as it enters and leaves your body. Notice the rise and fall of your chest, or abdomen. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. This simple practice can help you break free from the cycle of rumination and anxiety, bringing you back to the present moment, where you can focus on the task at hand. Mindfulness also helps us become more aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment. We learn to observe them as passing phenomena, like clouds in the sky, without getting caught up in their content. This detachment allows us to see our thoughts and feelings more objectively, to recognize them as mental events rather than as reflections of reality. There are many ways to practice mindfulness. You can try mindful observation, paying attention to your surroundings without judgment. Notice the colors, shapes, and textures of the objects around you. Listen to the sounds near and far. Engage all your senses. You can also try mindful activity, engaging fully in a simple task, like washing dishes, walking, or eating. Pay attention to the sensations of the water, the feel of the ground beneath your feet, the taste and texture of your food. By incorporating mindfulness into your daily life, you can cultivate a greater sense of calm and clarity, reducing your tendency to overthink and increasing your ability to enjoy the present moment. Section 7. The Stoic Path to a Calm Mind. To summarize, the Stoic path to a calm mind, free from the tyranny of overthinking, is built upon several key principles. First, we must understand the power of perception, recognizing that it's not events themselves, but our judgments about them that disturb us. Second, we must embrace the dichotomy of control, focusing our energy on what we can control and accepting what we cannot. Third, we can use negative visualization to desensitize ourselves to fear and anxiety, cultivating gratitude and building emotional resilience. Fourth, we can use journaling as a tool for self-reflection, gaining clarity, identifying patterns, and challenging negative thought loops. And fifth, we can practice mindfulness to bring our attention back to the present moment, breaking free from the cycle of rumination and anxiety. It's important to remember that Stoicism is not a quick fix or a magic bullet. It's a practice, a way of life that requires consistent effort and self-awareness. It's about cultivating habits of thought and action that align with reason and virtue. You have the power to choose how you respond to your thoughts and emotions. You have the power to break free from the chains of overthinking and reclaim your mental well-being. Embrace the Stoic path to a calm and peaceful mind. Start applying these principles in your own lives. Begin with small steps, with simple exercises, and gradually build your resilience. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to practice Stoicism, to choose reason over emotion, to find peace in the present moment. I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, share this video with others who may benefit, and leave a comment below sharing your own experiences with overthinking and how you plan to apply these Stoic principles. Together, we can create a community of individuals committed to cultivating inner peace and living a more fulfilling life. You are capable of developing the Stoic mind. As we draw this exploration of Stoicism and its profound relevance to overthinking to a close, let's synthesize the key insights we've uncovered. The relentless mental churn of overthinking, a struggle so prevalent in our modern era, often stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of what truly lies within our grasp. We mistakenly believe we can control the uncontrollable, the opinions of others, the unpredictable turns of fate, the echoes of past regrets, and in that pursuit, we trap ourselves in a cycle of anxiety and mental exhaustion. Stoicism, in its elegant simplicity, offers a liberating counterpoint. It invites us to recognize that our true power resides not in manipulating external circumstances, but in mastering our internal responses. The dichotomy of control is not merely a philosophical concept. It's a practical tool for reclaiming our mental space. By diligently distinguishing between what we can and cannot influence, we free ourselves from the futile pursuit of controlling the uncontrollable and redirect our energy toward cultivating virtue, reason, and resilience. The practice of negative visualization, premeditatio malorum, may seem paradoxical, yet it's a powerful antidote to the fear-driven overthinking that often paralyzes us. By intentionally contemplating potential setbacks and challenges, we desensitize ourselves to their emotional impact, fostering a sense of preparedness and gratitude for the present moment. This practice is not about pessimism, it's about cultivating a realistic and balanced perspective, acknowledging the inherent uncertainties of life while appreciating its inherent gifts. Journaling, the introspective habit of Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, provides a tangible means of dissecting our thoughts and emotions. It's a sanctuary for self-reflection, a space where we can objectively examine our judgments, identify recurring patterns, and challenge the irrational beliefs that fuel our overthinking. By putting our thoughts into words, we create a distance between ourselves and our mental narratives, allowing us to scrutinize them with greater clarity and detachment. Mindfulness, the art of present moment awareness, complements Stoicism by grounding us in the reality of the here and now. It's a powerful antidote to the mental wanderings that characterize overthinking, bringing us back to the sensations of the present, where we can find peace and clarity. By training our attention to focus on the immediate experience, we cultivate a sense of calm and equanimity, breaking free from the grip of rumination and anxiety. Stoicism is not a passive philosophy. It's an active practice, a continuous process of self-improvement and self-mastery. It requires consistent effort, unwavering commitment, and a willingness to challenge our ingrained habits of thought. It's about cultivating a mindset that embraces challenges as opportunities for growth, that finds strength in adversity, and that seeks wisdom in every experience. As you embark on your own journey toward a calmer, more resilient mind, remember that you are not alone. Throughout history, countless individuals have faced the same struggles, the same doubts, the same anxieties. The Stoics, with their timeless wisdom, offer a path toward liberation, a way to reclaim your mental freedom and live a life of greater purpose and peace. Let the principles of Stoicism be your guiding light, your compass in the midst of life's storms. Embrace the power of perception, the clarity of reason, the strength of resilience. And remember, within you lies the capacity for profound transformation. You have the power to choose how you respond to your thoughts, to your emotions, to the world around you. Embrace that power and let it guide you toward a life of unwavering inner peace.